So I will talk about the introduction to digital tools and developing virtual facilitation skills. Virtual facilitation is a little bit different than the ordinary one because you miss some parameters. Many new things can go wrong. So what we'll be doing here, we will explore, let's say, most common collaboration tools that we are using. There is a huge variety of different tools, so maybe at the end you would like to discover us some more. What we found out that the most common are Zoom, Teams, Slack, and Google Workplace people are using. We will try to strengthen your capacity to facilitate in virtual environment and learn you to how to plan and run different meetings, coaching sessions, workshops in online environment. This can be very useful for the maybe not sport clubs by themselves, but for associations that have members in that are dislocated. So maybe things that were obliged to be organized very cautiously with traveling and a lot of time. If you run them wisely, you can organize them through digital collaboration tools. But when you start to work virtually, then you will discover that it's a little bit different world and that you miss the body language of the people you talk to. There is a Zoom fatigue, so you have some time limitations, how long you can keep people in front of the screen, that there can be some back noise that you cannot affect or broken voice during the activities. That occasionally you miss this feedback because most of the people, due to the network, use black screens and you somehow miss the feedback. And we will try to give you some tools that you can ensure this engagement and the clarity of what you are doing and the shared outcomes of the activity. There are two types of the virtual facilitation. There is synchronous and asynchronous. And we will be talking more about synchronous today, because asynchronous, it's more linked to the storage of the data for learning. What we are doing now is a synchronous learning and facilitation. It happens in a real time when we all switch on some tool and work together. And even the tools develop a variety of possibilities how to boost these activities. So Now we are on some kind of video call, but we can also chat and ask questions, comments, anything in the chat. And if we want, we can create some activities in breakout rooms. You can raise hand, send this emoji to give some feedback. And asynchronous is delayed, in fact, so everybody uses it when it has time. So the basics are emails. There are also some message boards like Padlet that we used in the synchronous, but we could also share the stickers whenever we wanted and share documents like in Google Drive or Moodle. So what I would say that there are no good tools and bad tools. They are mostly you should choose the tool according to your needs. And I believe that there are some also custom. So if you are really used to Zoom, then you're very familiar with it, and you start to prefer it. Zoom has many strong sides. It's very reliable. Breakout rooms is very well developed, so people are really using it, and especially if you want to share some task and you say, okay, you go 20 minutes work on something in one room, you work 20 minutes on something, then you can come back. And there are also incorporated polls and quizzes. Recently also many AI features, but those features are there if you have the paid version. That's not expensive, but yeah, you have to pay for it. Microsoft Teams, I see them more used on the north of the Europe. The main advantage is that they are integrated with the Office, so you can largely store, take the documents in and out. And they are very good for organization of the activities. Google Meet is super simple. So if you want to have a quick meeting with just few persons, you don't need breakout rooms. It's a good solution because Google is always available. It's in most of cases it's free. Okay, now they also limit the time, but how long the meeting can last. But they are really accessible. So just for the easy things, they are a good solution. And there are many open source tools that are free. You can customize them, but they are less stable for small groups. In every of these tools, people meet, they can do their synchronous work together, and they can just from the beginning, if you know the limitations of certain tool, then you can use the other one that more suits your needs. And for the asynchronous, that can be a good base to work in synchronous way. We can use Padlets. They are good to introduce the participants. If the participants would like to need their data, some short notes or comments, or Padlet is just like a sticky papers, like Post-its. But if you want to organize more datas, maybe it's better to think about Moodle, where you can create lectures, you can even monitor the progress, also incorporate some quizzes, homeworks, and what we did often is that you have your working material on Moodle, and especially if it is some stable content like sport rules or some laws, you just need to keep them on one spot. Moodle is a good solution, and when you want to work on it, then you go on a Zoom or Microsoft Teams and have a meeting. You can combine those set of tools, and don't forget, in asynchronous, each Google Drive, in fact, it's also a way to store your materials. There is more and more AI help for digital facilitation, virtual one, because most of the time when we started to work in digital facilitation, we always had a pair. We had the main facilitator and the co-facilitator that was helping with the chat box, with notes, how to organize notes. Now everything is recorded. We can have transcripts and summaries at Zoom, at Teams, and Gemini also offers some help on Google Meet. So all these activities are done, can be done at least by AI. And I assume this part of assistance is very valuable, and at least keep one person to deal with other activities than to write down who said what available. Not to have lectures that are just one person talking. There are some tools that we can use as engagement tools, we say. The ones that are pretty popular are Slido, where you can ask questions and people can answer, so you have some kind of pools. Menti is similar, but you can create these clouds of words. It's the visual appearance of the output is, let's say, nicer. Padlets. And also on Zoom, there are offered these pools and quizzes that you can link to some meeting that you host and use them during the activity. So what we would like to suggest when you plan your virtual facilitation activities is that you have a clear agenda and clear objectives, what you would like to achieve, and that agenda and the objectives are clear to everyone who are involved. In the activity, to keep one person too tired, so you rotate these roles of host, co-host, note taker. And it is good to have an open line between those persons on WhatsApp or Viber, or that they can communicate if unpredictable situation happens. If you, because you cannot do all the training all the time, that the same things happen, it's good to use breakout rooms to divide people in smaller groups, to give them some tasks. And at the same time, then you can change people in the group, so it gives some dynamics, and people get to know each other better. It is important to use these pools, chats, icebreakers, energizer, to make the participation more active for the participants. And something AI help us to do is that you now we have the follow-up with summary more or less done by Zoom or Teams. But it is advisable that you still read and check and stress some action points and share the tasks. And we discovered that this AI help for summary does not help very well if the main language is not a big European language. So Zoom, for example, has some troubles to distinguish different Slavic languages, so it is not sure which one it should transcribe, so this can lead to funny but not very accurate solutions. There are always some issues with the accessibilities. We should pay attention. Often it happens that the connection is not so good as we are willing. So it is good to offer to the participants audio-only option, so that they don't need to use the camera that need much better connection. And you share the materials in advance, so all participants, if they can see the screen, they still have the slides, or you can share them during the meeting in chat that they can open on their own computers. You can add captions or transcript, and now I see that there is also some possibility to translate on Zoom. You can make everything you are doing compatible with screen readers. And when you are speaking, use plain, use clear language. Try at least not to have two-stroke accent, short sentences, Also, one of the things that you should think about when you are somehow contributing to the virtual activity. That's why we have the troubleshooting for the weak internet that happens. So it's good to have a backup plan to co-host with somebody if you are lost, so somebody can continue who has your presentation. To look for some second router or cable connection in a worse scenario that the connection breaks up. If you have problems with background noise, you can ask the participants to mute or let them everyone muted already in the room, or have some kind of protocol. Use pools if you feel that the audience is a little bit tired or inactive. You can ask direct questions that are open-ended ones, so the ones that the answer is not yes or no, that's something they should talk about to make them more talkative. Use icebreakers when people don't know each other, or energizer that are pretty similar and available on the internet, so you can easily find them. Energizer are used when people are listening for too long time, and have some library of all these activities stored somewhere, because just prepared in case if you feel that you need an energizer, that you can use an energizer. And one thing that all of us don't like at all, but it happens, trolls occasionally visit our activities. So it's important to keep strong rules from the beginning. Or even if you don't have a group that don't know each other or don't know how function in virtual world, to set the ground rules at the beginning, to say we will not use rude words, we will not offend anyone, we will be polite, things like that, because to some people it's important that it is told. And what works is a pre-registration, so people are, let's say, less trolly if they are registered somewhere, so not completely anonymous. And also all tools has possibility to ban people from the meeting if they really start to be offensive. We suggest you to prepare for every activity an agenda, that you test your tools, and you have roles of host, co-host, who is taking note if needed, right? This, for the small meetings, it should not be too complicated, but it should be known and you should think about it. During the activity, you need to give clear instructions to provide some interaction and inclusivity. So maybe people that are shy, that are introvert, or doesn't speak the working language well, also find their place, and to support them. Occasionally, it's even good to offer them to not to speak up, just to write down the question in the chat box. And at the end, that you provide some summary, follow-up email, idea about the next steps. And then you can close your activity or ask for the next one, working on the same topics. So tools matter, so choose wisely when you are choosing. And for good virtual facilitation, you need a good structure that you can write it down. And it's important that you write it down at the beginning, and to provide the engagement of most of the participants, or at least participants that like to be engaged, but even it's better if you engage, and those ones that are from the beginning not so keen on speaking up. And the accessibility is also important. So use the tools that everybody is familiar with. You can use the tool that it's best on the world, but if people are struggling with it, it does not give the full effect. Or at least if you have found this tool, find this tool that's so good, dedicate some time at the beginning to other participants to become familiar with it, and that they feel comfortable to use it, and that everybody can, okay, that it's not some paid tool that some people cannot join because they did not pay the membership, or need a lot of internet or something. And everything that's said in this presentation, it's important to be reviewed occasionally, because the technology moves so quickly that tools start to be outdated, and the new ones are coming, and it's listen to your colleagues. If they have some good solutions, try to check them on the meeting that it's not so important, and try to introduce them if you feel that they are beneficial. But it's important to keep good vibe on the meeting, and continue till the end. So here is where I stop. Thanks for listening. Any questions?